Hello YouTube, welcome to RV Daydream. As you can see, I've got an electric bike in the background. Usually I do reviews on electric bikes. That's something when we were traveling full-time that we started actually enjoying and using was electric bikes. So over the years, we just keep on doing electric bikes, kind of a thing. However, we have occasionally been contacted by other companies asking for reviews on other things that are not necessarily directly related with RV life, but sometimes they are. Let's go to the intro, we'll come back.
What have you been up to?
I've been riding on a daydream.
So while we're on the road, we traveled full-time for 3 years, and we found that we enjoyed some of the niceties that we had when we were at home. One of those things was some sort of a security system or some ability to be able to keep an eye on our rig. When you're living on the road, even though it seems like that life may be a vacation the whole time, sometimes you want to get away from living in your RV. And that could be something as simple as going to the local hotel that maybe has a hot tub and having sort of a date night, or maybe going on a casino cruise and then stay in a hotel, you know, further away from the campground where you're staying at. Sometimes it may be, you know, possibly you want to get on a cruise. Sometimes it means flying back home to be with friends and family during holidays, something like that. During those times that I'm away from the RV, I like the idea that I might be able to keep an eye on the RV. Now, we had internet the entire time when we were on the road, and you do need internet for what I'm getting ready to talk about. But our RV that we had at the time had the ability for us to control the temperature inside the RV from anywhere, you know, that we had internet. As long as the internet was good at the RV, I could keep an eye on things as far as that's concerned. But as far as like, is there a storm? Is there a leak? Is there something going on around the RV? I needed cameras for that. And just like when we lived at home, we had security cameras that was from one particular company, and where it was sort of a service that's involved with that you have to pay. But you can, at that point, keep an eye on your RV. And anywhere that you point those cameras, of course, you have the ability to watch things. Now, some of you may have internet, maybe if it's just through the campground, but you may have internet, but you don't want to do a service or you don't want to get anything too involved. I have a solution for you. And that's Anona Aurora, that's the name of it. And this is their, they call it AOV, I believe, and it's always on video. Yeah, AOV. And this one's kind of unique in that it has a big battery in it and a solar panel. And as long as the sun shines, and a lot of times when we're RVing, we're trying to be where the sun is, that's for sure. You have power. Now, even if you have a few cloudy days, that big battery inside will take care of things. So I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the box. We're going to see what's in here. And from what I understand, this thing's really easy to set up. It talks about forever power. Of course, that is going to be dependent on the sun and the battery. It has two-way talk. So, of course, you can hear what's going on. And of course, you can then communicate through the camera. That might come in handy. It has object detection. So you could set it up to where, for example, if you think you want to see if a package has been delivered, it could detect that there's a package and notify you of that. But this is a 3840 by 2160 resolution. That is in the 4K range. You're talking 8 megapixel. It's actually considering it 4K ultra high definition. But yeah, it's interesting. Now it's just a 5 volt, 2 amp input. And I think that with the battery, again, this has some heft to it. This thing probably goes a long time. All right, enough talking. Let's open this up and see what's in here. This was sent to me and it arrived really fast. They were very quick with their shipping. I'm in Northeast Ohio. I don't think that necessarily means anything different for anybody else. Elsewhere in the country, I'm sure you'll get it just as fast. Here is some sort of a certificate. Let's see what this is. Okay, this is the user manual. Of course, I should read this, and I will, but let's just show you what it looks like inside real quick here. There's a QR code. They said that the mounting on this is really simple. You can see the components that are in there. And then right to the device. That's what we all want to see, right? Oh, okay, so here's the solar panel. It's a matte finish. Kind of cool, huh? And then it's showing here, oh, that's nice. It shows everything that's included. Of course, we're gonna see that firsthand. So pretty decent length cable. What I like about this is it doesn't, you know, some of them are mounted right on the camera. Well, that's not necessarily convenient if it's in the shade. Of course, the mount. There you go. Oh, made of metal. Looks like it's pretty darn sturdy. Nice. Of course, there's that. Oh, I feel the screws inside here. Yep, screws and wall anchors if you're going into a soft wall of some kind. And before we get out the unit, I know you guys want to see the camera, but I want to see everything else. We'll bring out the dessert here in a second. Again, more screws, a small power cable, the mount for the camera, which resembles what we just saw there, but in a shorter, smaller form. There you go. You know, it's just a 1/4 inch. So if you have something already that you have rigged up, a 1/4 inch will, you know, camera mount will work. All right, now for the good stuff. This is really cool. I'll move the box out of the way. And there it is. Okay, let's see what's here first. Now, it does have a decent memory on it. So you look, there's no USB. Look at that beauty. You got lights on there. You got a sensor on the front. I'll leave that on there in case for mounting. But yeah, this is what it looks like here. Very, very cool. It's very compact. I have really large hands, but this is pretty compact. And then again, of course, the solar panel. And I find it weird that I'm looking at this thinking, well, where am I gonna, where else is the plugs? Where's the cables and everything? And there is none. It's just you plug in the power and that's it. You're ready to go. And of course, using the manual here, you'll do all your adjustments through an app, and it'll allow you to interact with the camera. And again, there's a lot of cool things you can do there. So what I'm going to do is get this together. I'll highlight anything that the manual maybe missed, that you might want to be aware of, and we'll get this up and running and see what it does, what kind of picture, what kind of range. My internet's not the greatest here in a couple places, so I got to make sure I place it somewhere that not only does it get sun to the solar panel, but I do get an internet signal also. For example, I have a pole building in the back of the property, and my internet will not reach there. So we will go ahead and put this together. Okay, it's extremely windy out here, and this is not an example of how to mount it, by no means. If I was to mount this out here for real, the first thing I would do is probably mount the camera on the front side of the porch underneath the awning to help with protection. Even though this is a fully weatherproof camera, it's nice to have it protected so, it lasts a little longer. And then the solar panel would be on this side of the house, towards the sun. The camera needs to be 7 to 10 feet high. It needs to be pointed down, and you shouldn't have anything in its view such as bushes that are moving in the wind or cars that are driving by. I am doing all the wrong things. I mounted it too low. I mounted it to where it can see bushes blowing around, and of course the cars that are driving by also. But I wanted to get a good idea of what the connection was like, which is pretty good, and the picture, which is incredible. I'd have to say the pictures, is not bad at all. The mounting and the connection, way simpler than the cameras that I currently have, which you can see one of them is right over there in the window. I just have that just set up briefly. It's when we first moved in, which we've only lived in the house for a short time. that it required us to have some sort of camera while we were staying at our other home and then coming to this home occasionally. We just wanted to have extra security to know when people are coming up to the door, which when we first moved in, there was a lot of people coming, you know, to sell us whatever, security, sell us power reductions in our bill, that kind of thing. Again, sorry about the wind. It's very windy out. Even with all this wind though, it's pretty good. I do catch wind noise on the camera. The audio is very clear. I can definitely hear it. You know, it's the words are spoken and it's very, very clear. I'd have to say that if I had a need, and I was thinking about it, guys, I was definitely thinking about it, to put this in a remote location, you could do it. And I was thinking about putting it out on that telephone pole. That's not ours, obviously, but it is in the yard. And I could make it face the house. Here's the problem though. We should have a sunny sky with no cloud, or, you know, no shade or anything like that. Well, guess what? That tree provides a lot of shade, and so does the trees across the street later in the evening. Ohio don't have a lot of sun, and whenever you block it out, you don't get the kind of power that you should, you know, going. So I've got it just kind of pointed out in the sky. It's at a 45-degree angle, probably not. Let me see here. Yeah, I can tilt it just a little bit more. There we go. And I am getting some solar power. I did check that. But if you're looking to buy this, the links are in the description. This is something that, again, if you don't want a subscription to anything, if you just want something remotely, if you have internet available remotely somewhere, that's the thing. You got to have internet. This will do it for you. You don't have any subscriptions, you don't buy anything, you don't pay anything. You just buy it and you connect it. And then the best part is all the power you need is right here. The solar panel, it powers the camera, and that's it. End of story. I would think that if something like this is broadcast enough out there, people will get on board and they'll realize how important it is that you don't have to run a power cable to your cameras. Even though I like the little cameras that I have here, there is a power cable that is connected to a plug. And although I have a backup generator, that's not necessarily the case for somebody that lives out in a cabin, or if you have your RV out in the desert. Again, as long as you have internet, which a lot of people can get internet, yeah, it's perfect. So again, the links are down below. The Anona, and it's the Aurora 4K with the solar panel.